Good morning, students of Standard 9. Today we will take up the second part of If I Were You by Douglas James. In the previous paragraph, we had been introduced to both the characters, Gerard and the intruder. While Gerard seemed to be a well-educated, cultured man, and the intruder, who looked like obviously uncultured, was not dressed properly, he was flashily dressed, and he was clumsy. He banged the table while entering. Then he threatened Gerard of harming him, injuring him if Gerard didn't answer his question. Gerard tried to make him go round and round and create an air of suspense about himself. Further, Gerard also pretended as if he was getting scared of that man and was cooperating with him. So he tried several tricks to put off that intruder, and he wanted to know the actual plan, why the intruder was there. So once he knew what was the purpose, then he could have taken any step. So we move on to the next part. He asked, previously we ended at, he asked whether he had a car, and he said yes, he had a car and it was in a garage. The intruder asked whether the place was frequented by many people. Gerard replied that he rarely had any visitors. He added that very few people underwent the trouble of visiting him. Other than the baker, greengrocer, and the milkman, no one else bothered to visit him. The intruder said that he had come to know that Gerard did not meet tradespeople. So first question was about the car, then the second question was about how many people visited him. To which he replied, not many people, only three. They were the baker, the greengrocer, and the milkman. Baker, who sells bread, greengrocer, who sells vegetable, and the milkman, obviously, who sells milk. They came. So we met very few people, and he also knew that tradespeople, businessmen. Gerard also didn't meet many businessmen or salesmen. Gerard commented that the intruder had gone through a lot of trouble to gain information about him. He added that as the intruder knew a lot about him, he should disclose some details about himself too. He added that the intruder had been reserved and had not talked much about himself. Now, Gerard had obviously understood that the intruder had been following Gerard for a number of days because he knew a lot about Gerard, and he said that he informed that, okay, you have taken a lot of trouble to know about me, but he said, you are being modest, you have told nothing about yourself. The intruder said that he had a lot to talk about himself. In case Gerard thought himself to be smart, he was smarter. He had brains and used his intelligence to achieve things. So the intruder had this feeling that Gerard was taking him to be a fool. So he said that I am a smart person, don't play with me, and I have used my brains and intelligence to achieve whatever I have achieved. To which Gerard again sarcastically commented that the man had just broken into his small cottage, which was not a big deal and did not require much intelligence. He said, what have you achieved? You have achieved breaking into my house. That doesn't require much intelligence, or my small cottage is no fortress. Breaking into it doesn't take much intelligence or daring. The intruder said that the reason for his entering Gerard's cottage would shock Gerard. Gerard replied that by seeing the intruder's behavior, he knew that his reason for entering his house would be shocking. Then he inquired about the crime that the intruder specialized in. The intruder replied that he specialized in jewel robbing. He added that Gerard's car would be a gift for him because it was very stylish. Gerard commented that in Essex jewels were hardly found. He wanted to say that it was futile for the intruder to visit the area as he would not find any jewels there. The intruder first began by saying that if you get to know the reason why I have entered your house, you will be shocked. The Gerard said, by looking at your behavior, I am sure the reason must be shocking. Then he said, what kind of crime do you specialize in? Gerard had still no idea why the person was in Gerard's house. So the man said that he specialized in jewel robbing. He robbed jewelry stores and He said Gerard's card would be very handy for him because it was very stylish. To which Gerard was surprised. He said, "What's the point? If you are a specialist jewel thief, then why do you come to Essex? Jewels are very hard to find in Essex, and you are wasting your time over here." The intruder added that just like jewels, cops were also scarce in Essex, and so he could live there peacefully. Right? He said, "Yes, I know that jewels are not found over here, but police is also very few in Essex County. Hence, he could live there peacefully without the threat of police." Gerard asked if the intruder wanted to live with him. He commented that the decision was sudden and that he had not invited the intruder to live with him. The intruder replied that he did not take the trouble to ask permission from Gerard because he wouldn't be there for long. Gerard asked what did he mean by that. The intruder replied that the surprise was that he intended to kill Gerard. Now, Gerard said, "You want to live here peacefully, you want to live with me, but I didn't invite you to stay with me." So the intruder replied, "I didn't take the trouble to ask you simply because you will not be here when I leave." To which Gerard was perplexed. And he asked, "What did the intruder mean?" The intruder said, "This is your big surprise. I am going to kill you." Gerard said that the man sounded harsh. He said, "It's very rude of you to say something like that. Coming and telling me that you are going to kill me, this is very rude of you. This is very harsh." The intruder replied sarcastically that he would be so sorry to do that because he had developed a liking for him. Now it was the intruder's turn to be sarcastic with Gerard. He said, "Oh, I have already started liking you, and I would be very sorry for me. I am sorry to kill you, but what to do? That's what I intend to do." Gerard said that killing a person was a serious crime and advised the intruder not to do so. The intruder said that he was being chased by the police as he had already murdered a person. If he would kill another one, the punishment would still remain the same, as they could not hang him to death twice. So Gerard said killing a person is a serious crime and you shouldn't be getting involved in such a serious crime. Stealing jewelry is one thing and killing a person is a very serious crime. So the intruder said, "I have already killed a person. So even if I kill you and cops catch me, they can't hang me twice. I kill one, I kill 100, I will get hanged only once." Right? So that was the intruder's idea. Gerard said it meant that the intruder was planning to murder him without any reason. He agreed that the intruder would not lose anything, but asked him that what would he get by killing him. He wanted to know the reason for him to kill Gerard. Now Gerard said, "Okay, I understand. Now you have already killed a person, so you are going to be, if you are caught, you would be hanged. So if you kill two, the same punishment. So that part I understand. But why me? Why do you want to kill me?" The intruder replied that in return for killing Gerard, he would get freedom, as he had committed a murder. He was hunted by the police and was hiding like a rat. Upon stealing the identity of Vincent Charles Gerard, he would live a life of freedom. He could go to places, eat and sleep without the fear of being caught by police. Now here the intruder reveals his actual idea why he wanted to kill Gerard. He said, "Well, if I kill you and I take your identity, I will kill you, I look like you, so I will become Vincent Charles Gerard, and I could live freely because not many people know you. They will think I am Gerard and police will not look for me. Right now, police is hunting me and I am hiding like a rat from them. So I will get my freedom if I kill you." Gerard commented that in many dramatic plays, the villain was showed to be a foolish person. He would delay being killed and eventually got frustrated due to the delay. Then he would commit some foolish act and get trapped. But the intruder was luckier than such villains. The intruder replied that he was fine because he was doing this for a reason. He wanted to live on the stolen identity of Vincent Charles Gerard. He enacted Gerard's style of speaking, which he had learnt when he had overheard Gerard talking on the phone. The intruder mimed Gerard and asked how was his performance. Gerard commented that the acting was not very attractive. The intruder commented that it wasn't so because Gerard's behavior was such. He added that he only required spectacles and he would look like Gerard. Gerard asked the intruder that what would he do about his clothes. His dress sense was not like him and could put him in trouble. The intruder replied that this was not a problem as he would wear Gerard's clothes. They would fit him well. Gerard said that the intruder did not understand his remark when he said the intruder was luckier than most melodramatic villains. He added that he was not praising the intruder's intelligence, but he wanted to say that the intruder would not kill him until he had a major reason to do so. The intruder commented that that was what Gerard thought. Gerard said that the intruder would leave him alive. He thanked God that the man did not shoot him till that moment. The intruder ordered Gerard to be quick and disclose all that was going on in his mind. He was getting bored by lengthy conversations. Gerard said that the intruder's plan was to escape the police by killing Gerard and stealing his identity. Gerard asked the intruder that was he sure that this plan would help him escape. The intruder said that he had planned everything. He did a job in the town, something went wrong and he murdered a policeman. Gerard said that finally the intruder had reached his cottage while running from police. Well, we'll keep it here and we will start again in the third video and the final video. So you be safe, take good care of yourself, and goodbye.